Sunderland.
Madam Deputy Speaker, it's always a pleasure to follow my friend and fellow Berkshire member from Newbury. The Chancellor's summer statement was just what the country needed to kickstart the economy out of its doldrums. With coronavirus impacting upon a falling housing market, his decision to temporarily cut stamp duty until March 2021 is the right thing to do, and I welcome the bill today. But far from just allowing purchasers to save their cash, this measure offers a real incentive to get our housing market going again and for people to spend what they save. It also allows our builders to get building, not just in the already congested South East, but to level up with real investment right across the UK. One of the indicators of any recession is when confidence falls in the property sector, with homeowners becoming more entrenched. The path ahead will not be easy, so the priority is to launch a preemptive strike which incentivises everyone to grab the opportunities that lie ahead. The imperative, therefore, is to support people, jobs and the economy by catalysing the housing market and boosting business confidence by driving growth, and by raising the threshold at which stamp duty applies from £125,000 to £500,000. Over 90% of those getting onto or moving up the property ladder will pay no stamp duty at all. But in addition to becoming a serious tax break for the majority, those who can most afford it will still be required to pay their share of duty above £500,000. And it's right that a progressive system of taxation remains in force. But what does this really mean for those who stand to gain most benefit? Well, take Bracknell as the classic example of a modern, vibrant and rewarding place to live. Nestled between the M4 and the M3 in East Berkshire, Bracknell is characterised by near full employment, one of the lowest rates of council tax in the country, a strong job market, high-tech research and development facilities and an abundance of international companies. Whilst it has taken a hit during the pandemic, I remain confident that Bracknell will bounce back, that its previous optimism for the post-Brexit economy will return. So to the decent, hard-working and pragmatic people that I proudly represent, I urge them to look ahead with confidence. Whilst the average house price in Bracknell is an eye-watering £325,000, the temporary cut in stamp duty will result in a direct saving of over £5,000 for all those who buy at that level. But of course, if you're starting on the housing ladder or looking to move up, you will not have to pay anything below £500,000. This is a massive incentive for anyone who aspires to save for a deposit, start a family, build an extension, get a better job, or simply to move to a bigger house, and it will mean more money in your pocket. So as well as boosting the economy at a time when it's most needed, the government will continue to allow people to keep most of what they earn through fair and progressive taxation that incentivises entrepreneurship, hard graft and enterprise. Indeed, for those in any doubt, the Conservative Party remains the party of working families, and this is just another example of what can be done when the country most needs it. Of course, no cut in stamp duty can be an indefinite blank cheque, as it is still necessary to raise the necessary revenue to pay for our public services. But it might be that further concessions are possible. I would therefore urge the Minister to consider some further tweaks. Firstly, several of my constituents have written to me urging the cut in stamp duty to be backdated to the beginning of the pandemic. I do not know personally whether this is precedented, fair or possible for a new policy, but it's one to be considered. Secondly, stamp duty is a drag on the housing market, and any continued relief beyond March 2021 is to be welcomed. I would therefore urge the Minister to consider tax measures which encourage social mobility rather than hinder it, so increasing the threshold further or spreading payments out over a longer period may be beneficial. Lastly, it may be that further refinement can be considered for those who are resident in the UK as UK citizens, as opposed to overseas investors or those purchasing second homes. Whilst we must encourage foreign investment and entrepreneurship right across our post-Brexit nation, Taxpayers who can afford to pay more should do so if we are serious about incentivising those just starting up the ladder. So aspiration through hard work and enterprise must be rewarded. To conclude, Madam Deputy Speaker, I welcome the bill before the House today and salute the Chancellor for his unprecedented, generous and unparalleled support for our economy. Cutting stamp duty in the short term is absolutely the right thing to do, but I would also urge him to conduct a wider review so that this tax goes further in what we ask it to do. Thank you.
Yeah.